I gotta make this video really quick before I go to bed because the Beijing final is in about 5 hours. um, and eventually I'm gonna have to get up and go to church and stuff like that. But anyway, welcome back to Sport Court. We are talking about Beijing. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the bracket as is prior to the final. At the end of this video, we will talk about the final, and we'll talk about match stats and things like that. And then we will move on to Wuhan. There you go. Kind of a poet. I didn't know it. Haha. Anyway, so it is currently 12:14 a.m. here in Texas on October 6th, 2024. I do need to go to bed because, again, like I said, I have to be up in a little while. But the Beijing final does start at 6 a.m. my time. It'll be like way ahead of that time in Beijing. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the entire bracket as it is, and leading up to the final, which I will go ahead and tell you is against Karolina Muchova and Coco Gauff. I'm hoping that Coco can pull it out for the USA. If not, you know, I think she'll be able to make the WTA Finals. But anyway, so yeah, here we go. Let's get started. Alright guys, so here is the bracket, as you can see, as it stands before the final of Beijing. I have picked Gauff as a champion. I am not sure if that's correct or not, because they haven't played yet. But we'll see in a little while how that turns out. But as you're about to see, this tournament was quite a bit different than pretty much all of the other tournaments that I've covered this year. In that every single seeded player had a bye in the first round. So you'll see a lot of yellow, and unfortunately in the first round, a lot of red. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down so you guys can take a peek. Yep. There are a couple blue players there. Yeah, I did not do a very good job picking some of these rounds. Some of them I did okay, but not exactly my best picking tournament. But yeah, so there's the bracket the rest of the way through. As you can see, Swiatek did not play this one. That probably will cost her some ranking points. So just keep that in mind if you're a Swiatek fan. But the big one is Sabalenka being outed by Muchova in the quarterfinals. Anyway, she was the #1 seed. Sabalenka was, after winning the US Open, and then also after Swiatek pulled out of this tournament. I don't actually think Swiatek's going to play Wuhan either, so that's big. So yeah, I mean, this is where we're at right now. And again, I picked Gauff as the champion. Hopefully she pulls it out, but if not, it's totally okay. Life goes on, so yeah. Hey guys, I'm so sorry for not getting back to you about Beijing, I believe it was. In just a few minutes, I'll do like the match stats for that final, and then I'll show you the bracket and everything. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how my week has been and how life just happens and what I'm gonna do kind of moving forward with this channel and other things. Um, so I haven't had the best week this week. And I haven't really felt like filming much. Um, I haven't really just just filming even these types of videos that I love doing I just didn't feel like doing it. Um, Emotionally, it's been this week has not been easy, and I know we all have those types of weeks or days or whatever. But I have been riding a wave of emotions. Typically, my emotions they look kind of like a straight line. Um, this week, it's just been a consistent roller coaster. Um, and it kind of started on Tuesday. Um, and uh, I, yeah. Tuesday night, uh, something kind of, I mean, something kind of difficult went down. I mean, okay. So I was watching Dancing with the Stars, and if you live under a rock at this point, uh, Ilona Maher, the Olympic rugby player, is on Dancing with the Stars, and she's become my favorite on the show. And she didn't have her best night on Tuesday night, um, but I don't think it was her worst either. I think it was truly amazing. I thought it was a fun dance for her, um, but there were some mistakes made, and she beat herself up about it like so bad in the first place. And the judges, Bruno Tonioli, in particular, kind of went after her for it. Carrie Ann didn't really do that. She was more gentle, and also Derek Huff was too. But Gene Simmons, the lead singer for Kiss, was there that night, and he said Alona was magnificent. He kind of made an uncomfortable comment though, or a comment that could make somebody feel uncomfortable. Um, so that was not anyway. Um, but after that, the producers thought it would be funny to put Alona in the bottom three. Now, typically, what happens with Dancing with the Stars is uh, it's live voting. So, you know, you vote only during the show, and then like um, the voting closes within the last commercial break. Um, and a lot of people love Ilona. They love uh, they love what she stands for. They love her vibe. I'm in that boat. So I voted for her. It was a 2 night special. This was night two. So I voted for her both nights. And I imagine a ton of other people did too. So I don't think she was actually part of the three that had the lowest votes. And we'll get to that in a minute. Um, so typically what they do is they will start naming off all the safe couples in no particular order. Like it doesn't matter like how many votes they've got in, you could have the third lowest vote or like you know, the third one up, in a double elimination. You could be like the one that's supposed to be saved last, right? Um, but they'll go ahead and tell you that you're safe anyway. You know what I mean? Which, okay. I don't know how I feel about that. Um, but they'll do that the entire season. There's no exception for Ilona there. But anyway, um, yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. Um, So there's, there's no, like, there's no exception for that, just, yeah. Anyway, so it's a double elimination. Um, Reginald Vell Johnson and Eric Roberts are also in the bottom three. Um, they're two older guys, so they do have a more difficult time moving around the floor, doing a bunch of steps, all of that. But Reggie in particular was one of my favorites too, just because his spirit is just such. I mean, he's such a blessing to this world. Eric is great too, and I love that Eric um, pushed himself to do what he did. Um, and so that's that's great, but ultimately they were not the better dancers. And I don't think, I mean obviously they were the two with the lowest votes. Um, and they were sent home, but Ilona was placed in the bottom three. I don't actually think she was in the bottom three. I think she was probably towards the top, but they kind of didn't say her name on purpose, and that um, that genuinely made her think she was going to go home, and she got upset just all over again. I mean, she had calmed down before and everything, and she got upset all over again. And I can't believe that Dancing with the Stars actually went that far to do that. Anyway, after that emotional night, of course, with that, you just keep thinking about it and keep thinking about it. Wednesday, just all throughout the day, just thinking about that. And I was honestly okay until Thursday. Thursday, I was driving home from school, and I saw a wreck. Now, if you want to see, I'm not going to share pictures or anything like that, or videos, or, or whatever. If you want to see that, go check out. I think Fox 4 did a story on it. So, like, it's out there somewhere. But I came across, I mean, this wreck was so bad. The car, it was one car, a driver and a passenger. So two people. And the driver was driving recklessly. And they have those big sign, like highway sign poles. The driver ended up hitting that pole, wrapping around, kind of. I mean, it could have been, the car could have been sliced in half, but also if it wasn't, it was wrapped around this sign pole, and the car was definitely unrecognizable. And I did, for those who saw my Instagram story and stuff like that, it has been confirmed that both passengers were pronounced dead on the scene, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's rough. And again, that sort of image is just like burned in my head. It's been that way for the past couple days. And I just have not been able to really recover. My emotions have been all over the place, and so I've just had to kind of distance myself from a lot of things. Um, so so another thing that happened. This happened actually a week ago today. I'm filming this on a Saturday night here in Texas. A week ago, someone very important to me passed away. For those who live in the Fort Worth area, you might know this name. His name is Jack Eicher. He was the bishop of the Diocese of Fort Worth, the Anglican diocese. And he had cancer. And he unfortunately passed away on Saturday, like a week ago today. And his funeral was yesterday, and I got to participate in that. And so I've been kind of down about that. I've been kind of struggling with other stuff, just kind of all together, and it is getting better, but it's been a slow ride. So again, I apologize for being kind of absent because I would have totally done a bracket and posted during Wuhan, but I just kind of lost everything, and it was just a whirlwind. So what I'm gonna do for Wuhan is I'm going to give you kind of like, I think I did this for another tournament. I can't remember which one I did this for, but I'm going to give you like a recap of the tournament. So I'm going to wait until they play the final, and then I'm going to give you like key matches, key players, all this stuff. And then in terms of what I'm going to be doing for the next few weeks as we lead up to the WTA Finals, is I'm basically gonna say, like, there's a couple of 500 tournaments. I just do not have the time, and I do not, like, I don't know if I will have the energy to make videos for those tournaments. But so I'm basically just gonna skip them, and we'll go just straight to the WTA Finals very, very soon. Again, that means no content for a little while. But in just a second, we'll talk about well, actually, no, when we get to the Wuhan stuff, we'll talk about key players for the WTA Finals and things like that, who's already secured a spot, yada yada. But again, I appreciate you guys like being patient and stuff like that. It's just been a roller coaster of a week. Oh, actually, I won't say anything about that yet. I'll wait until there's other videos about that. You'll understand later. But for now, I want to go ahead and get to the match stats for the Beijing final, and do the bracket and stuff like that. And yeah. The finished bracket, as you can see, I picked correctly, and Coco Gauff ended up winning the whole tournament. She looked really good, I think, the entire tournament, which is why she won it. LOL. But yeah, so congratulations to Coco. We're gonna go ahead and get into the match stats. So for Coco, the match stats, sorry, I just got a notification, but they're pretty good. And it explains why she won the tournament. Makes sense. I mean, except one stat you'll understand here in a second. But yeah, let's get to them. So we have 6 aces, 5 double faults. That's the one. 70% first serve, 85% win on first serve, 67% win on second serve, 5 break points, no tie breaks. For Mukova, she played excellently the entire tournament, I think, as well. Her big match was beating Sabalenka, I believe, in the semis? Either semis or quarters. I think it was the quarters, sorry. Anyway, so she had 2 aces, 3 double faults, 56% first serve, 62% win on first serve, 20% win on second serve, 1 break, and then no tie breaks. So those are the match stats for the Beijing final. Coco looked a lot better than she did over the summer, which is great. I hope she continues to improve and secures a spot in the finals. But that is it for this video. Again, thank you so much for being understanding about my situation. I promise I'm gonna get better. I've experienced something like this before. So just understand that it's gonna be okay. And so yeah, just stay tuned. I'll do a little recap video on Wuhan, and then we'll be into the WTA Finals in Saudi Arabia. So that'll be good. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.